Hey, what's up, everyone? Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Is this working? Man, this is my 5th time. They really don't want this video made. They really don't. First, they shut my phone off, restarted it, powered it back on by itself, and I was 10, 15 minutes into the video, had a loaded topic video, several important, several important topics. You're going to hate the fact that it's a vertical video, so I do apologize for that. You know what, maybe I can make it horizontal. Anyway, let's see if I can make it horizontal. Can we do that? Alright. So I've tried this video 5 times already. The first time they shut it off was when my phone just restarted by itself. The second time, they stopped the camera. Then they stopped the screen recording, made it corrupt the third time. Fourth time, they did the same thing. Fifth time, they then shut my camera off. And now, let me show you. Matter of fact, let me show you. Look at this. Let me show you. Will it show camera? Look at that. The camera part on the right there, in the top right, is not highlighted. It won't even let me make a video because likely it didn't like the topic that I was actually talking about. But guess what? Let's go back and talk again. So, you've got so many things on the political spectrum happening, and I hate talking about that type of topic. You've got so many things regarding this quote-unquote virus. And let me tell you, you've got people displaying symptoms that don't have it. You have people displaying strange symptoms that no one has a clue what they are. Then you have all these people that do have it, and they don't understand. It seems to be spreading, and it seems to be spreading in ways they don't really understand. Another thing is that it seems to be doing things that they can't explain. Sort of thinking for itself in ways that they can't explain. Saw that as well. Another thing is children are coming down with strange illnesses that seem to match toxic shock syndrome, and no one knows what these symptoms are. No one knows what it's coming from at all. And that's just one thing. That's one thing. Then you have, I was reading on Twitter from the local news anchor and another person. President Trump tweeted out, I said a trigger word, didn't I? Probably going to screw up on me again. I said a trigger word, didn't I? Anyway, the president, can I say that? Tweeted out, why is it that the state of California, can I say that? The state of California allow they to do mail-in votes. What did it just do by itself? Folks, this phone is literally just doing things by itself. The state of California wants to... You see it here. The state of California wants to do mail-in votes. Oh, now the camera's going to decide to work. Just forget it. It's going to do mail-in votes. Okay, said that already, didn't I? That's what they're trying to do, mess me up. The state of California decides to do that method of voting, yet allowing DEMO, CRATS sections, the primarily DEM sections or areas of that state, to have booths open, voting booths open. But the rest, they want to mail in. Why not have voting booths in all sections of both right and left sides? Primarily both sides. Not just areas that are primarily higher of one particular section. That is very biased. But that's what they're doing in several places. Then you have another local news anchor that tweeted out. He said, Why are they saying that shocking report, jobs are down at the lowest rate they've ever been? Of course they are. No one's had work. The country is in the process of reopening. This world is in the process of reopening. Of course jobs are low. And they report that like it's a shock. And that goes for every major news agency did that. All right, third thing. Or is it fourth? I don't even know at this point. Another thing. They reported that there's a beef shortage. They're scaring the crap out of people. They said a beef shortage is on the way. But then Tommy Lauren, who used to be on Fox News, tweeted this out as well as another Tennessee news anchor. They tweeted out that, if you remember, now I want to elaborate on this a little. Everything is made in an Asian country of some sort. In some sort of Asian country, everything's made there. Pretty much all electronics and all devices are made in those areas. Well, they've made money, they've made money hand over fist over there from us and from every other nation. All right. So then, now, everything's made over there. We even import all of our pork and everything, every other product, meat besides beef, from Asia, China. Pretty much. About a third of it, I think, is imported. Then, we get a message that our grain is on a shortage. Grain is on a shortage months ago during the crisis, and the grain workers were going to be out of a job. We only had a 2-week supply on hand, the backup supply. That backup supply was over with last month. Congressional members got up on TV, on C-SPAN, and on YouTube, and were asking for help. It was not even talked about. I even posted it on my channel. It wasn't even talked about. Did they get their help? I don't know. Obviously not, because they're still in a struggle. Then they let the crisis go on. This is just facts, folks. Then they let the crisis go on. Did I say CHINA? I did, didn't I say the actual word? Watch them shut me off now. But they let the crisis go on, and then a month after that, about a month ago, they ran out of the grain storage, from they should have anyway, ran out of the grain storage. And now they're saying, well, you need to euthanize all of your cattle here in the U.S. Euthanize our cattle here in the U.S. They tell our farmers to euthanize their cattle when they could just use them for beef. I'll just use it simply. I don't want to use the actual word. They could use them for beef. But they tell them to euthanize them. And then they also tell them, and the farmers are forced to pour out billions and billions of gallons of milk products. And throw out so many products of food after the crops were already ruined last year due to the floods. And what the heck? Anyway, I'll just roll with it. So that's another loss. And then these frosts and cold snaps happen. That's another loss. But then they're told to euthanize their cattle. Tommy Lauren tweeted this out. This is where Tommy Lauren's tweet comes in. She said that farmers in the United States are told to euthanize their cattle. Meanwhile, after they were told to euthanize their cattle because they didn't get sufficient grain supply due to no one working, now we're suddenly told to get our beef imports from foreign countries, including China. China. Say it like that, China. Now we're told to get our beef imports from other foreign nations, including that one. What a setup. What a setup. Another thing you're not really hearing in the news. Did you ever hear about the boss in Florida in the news that I told you about on my channel? that got shot cold blood because he was pro this administration. He supported this administration, and the employee got mad, killed him. The guy had a family. Even the killer had a family, which makes no sense, people. The killer had a family. And the person he killed had a family. It affects both sides. Why would you do that? Over a political point of view. He supported this current administration. He supported the president. The guy shot him. Did you hear about that? No. Sorry, I sound like Jay Leno. Did you hear about that? But seriously, did you? Are you going to? No. Did they ever tell about the fact of the violence that was pointed out toward the right-leaning side? No. Where they talked about decapitation of the other side? No. Protests in the streets and violence threats? No. Did they ever talk about the young people that were protesting in violence and anger over this administration, calling for the offing of this administration? No. Another thing I find too much to be coincidental. President Trump, one of his chauffeurs and one of his staff members, has this virus. Then on the same day, Mike Pence, the vice president, one of his staff members has this virus. And on the same day, you find out that Ivanka Trump, one of her staff members, has this virus. All on the same day. Something's up about that. What about Pelosi? What about Biden? Schiff? Schumer? Do you hear about any of them? I haven't heard anything about them. And during this important vote that's taking place right now, an important vote, and all of a sudden the Dems suddenly want to help people, they claim, and get the votes back by saying that, they're going to give everyone $4,000, married couples $4,000 a month for the remainder of this virus. That's what they claim they want to do. They claim they want to do that. If they weren't wanting to jab at the other side and try to gain their votes back, they wouldn't even be doing that. They wouldn't be saying that. They never did before. Why would they pretend like they want to now? There were crises before they never did this. Mind you, definitely not to the extent of this, no. But just think about it. And then you have Ruth Bader Ginsburg suddenly in the hospital, so she can't vote on anything. Maybe it'd be too much to handle when she found out that about all the false information against Adam Schiff. Did you hear about all of that stuff? You should have been watching Fox when on Hannity, and you should have been watching on. I was watching it on Mob Rover, their free stream. I saw Mark Levin on there. They didn't really reveal much, but they say that a bombshell's coming out. That's what they say. Who knows? They won't allow it, I'm sure. There's a lot going on, worldwide as well. Surprised the device hasn't shut me off again. This is take 5. My 5th take trying to do this. Signing out. Much more to share. I'll do more next.